Big by-poll results today. The BJP dominating the northeast but suffering some big setbacks in Himachal Pradesh and Bengal in by-polls for 29 assembly seats and 3 Lok Sabha constituencies. The Congress retained its seats in Rajasthan and posted a surprise win in Himachal Pradesh. Let's take a quick look at some of the biggest margins in victories today. Well, the Trinamool Congress sweeping the seats in Bengal, some by record margins. In Dinhata, the Trinamool won by a staggering 1.64 lakh votes. In Gosaba, 1.43 lakhs. That was over 70% of the votes polled. And in Andhra Pradesh, the YSRCP, Jagan Mohan Reddy's party, won the Badvel seat by over 90,000 votes. That's around 75% of all votes polled.
So let's now talk about the big by-poll theory, the upsets and gains which have been decoded right here. Let's start with Himachal Pradesh because this is a big upset for the Bharatiya Janata Party and a grand gain for the Congress. The Congress has won 3 Vidhan Sabha seats and the Mandi Lok Sabha seat, which has been won by Ms. Pratibha Singh, wife of former Chief Minister Veerbhadra Singh. She has won this seat, which is the fortress or the very power corridor as far as the Chief Minister is concerned. Yes, this is Jairam Thakur's home turf that we are talking about. In fact, Anurag Thakur, the MIB, that is Minister of Information and Broadcasting, and the Chief Minister campaigned extensively for this poll. So this is a massive poll rout in the by-elections. The Congress hopes that this same performance can be replicated in the upcoming Punjab elections as well.
भारतीय जनता पार्टी के हमारे नेतृत्व ने मिलकर के इस चुनाव को लड़ा है, लेकिन परिणाम हमारी आशा के अनुकूल नहीं रहे. कहां कमी रही उस पर काम करेंगे.
Let's now talk about West Bengal, where again it's a 4-on-4 for the Trinamool Congress. The BJP lost the 2 previously gains that were made, that is 2 seats. Dinhata, which is a seat which was won by the present Minister of State for Home, Nisit Pramanik, has also gone to the Trinamool Congress. The TMC is now saying that this basically means that Modi and Shah are defeatable. Then let's talk about Madhya Pradesh. This is a good story for the BJP, where 2 Vidhan Sabha seats have been won by the BJP. 1 has gone to the Congress, but the Khandwa Lok Sabha seat went to the BJP. This is being seen locally as a big boost to Mr. Shivraj Singh Chauhan. And now for the massive win, the huge win in the northeast for the BJP and its alliance partners led by Himanta Biswa Sarma. 9 wins for BJP and its allies in the northeast. Most of those in Assam were turncoats who came from the Congress into the BJP, but they ended up winning. So this result is being seen as a shot in the arm for Mr. Himanta Biswa Sarma. Let's talk about Rajasthan. Both Vidhan Sabha seats went to the Congress. The tribal seat which has been won is also being seen as Ashok Gehlot trying to consolidate his position. In Haryana, the BJP lost its deposit in Ellanabad. This is also the re-entry of INLD into the poll fray with a win for Abhay Chautala. And last but not the least, the story coming in from Bihar, it was being seen that perhaps the Lalu factor would tilt scales in favor of the RJD. However, that has not happened. The JDU's Nitish Kumar, who's already a minority partner in the government, has won both the seats, being seen as a big boost for Nitish Kumar.
The other big story, Prime Minister Narendra Modi's announcement that India will reach net zero by the year 2070 was a scientifically calculated decision, not one under any pressure. This is what officials have said. This is the first time India has set for itself a target to achieve net zero. At the climate summit in Glasgow, Prime Minister Modi announced 5 targets as contributions to contain global warming. Radhika Iyer brings us the details.
2070 तक भारत नेट जीरो का लक्ष्य हासिल करेगा.
A headline statement unexpected from India, which has pushed back on net zero. Net zero means that by 2070, when carbon emitted into the atmosphere balances out with carbon removed from it.
India is not going to be pressurized, will not be pressurized, and has never been pressurized in any way.
But it's the shorter-term pledges by the Prime Minister that are equally important. India will reach its non-fossil energy capacity to 500 gigawatts by 2030. 50% of energy generated by 2030 will be from renewables. There will be a reduction of carbon emissions by 1 billion tons from now till 2030. The first pledge of cut in absolute emission currently is at 2.5 billion tons per year. There will be a reduction in carbon intensity of its economy by less than 45% by 2030. That is up from its 2015 pledge. However, India will not be giving up on coal. In fact, coal capacity will increase according to the Power Minister, who shared an exclusive interview with NDTV. But its percentage share in the total supply will come down.
The coal capacity will not remain the same. The coal capacity will also increase. Right now, you would say that it's about 70%. By 2030, it will come down to 30-35%.
India is seen to have bolstered its long-standing demand for a just and equitable climate deal, especially as the rich nations have historically emitted a lot more carbon than developing countries such as India. And that means coughing up the funds agreed upon a decade ago.
भारत की अपेक्षा है कि विकसित देश जल्द से जल्द $1 trillion का क्लाइमेट फाइनेंस उपलब्ध कराएं.
There are mixed reactions to the Indian Prime Minister's national statement that was shared officially at the COP26 summit in Glasgow. Some believe that the target of 2070 for India to be able to achieve net zero is years away from the summit's original target. Some others who know India well believe that given its socio-economic concerns that already exist, this perhaps is a conservative but a realistic target. The Prime Minister has also spoken of a one-word movement called LIFE, Lifestyle for Environment, which perhaps indicates that he and his team of officials will try and motivate Indians and people all over to try and use small or big changes to take India towards its target. Radhika Iyer, in Scotland, NDTV.
Back home, news from Maharashtra, from the NCP's Ajit Pawar to former State Home Minister Anil Deshmukh, both facing action from central agencies, while prime properties including real estate in Nariman Point related to Ajit Pawar and his family were attached by the IT department. Anil Deshmukh was also arrested by the Enforcement Directorate.
Double strike by central agencies on the Maha Alliance. Former State Home Minister Anil Deshmukh arrested shortly after midnight on charges of money laundering. On the same day, news of 1,000 crore worth properties linked to Maharashtra's Deputy Chief Minister Ajit Pawar seized by Income Tax Department.
Properties related to Ajit Pawar and his family valued at around 1,000 crore rupees have been attached by the Income Tax Department. This includes a resort in Goa, a flat in Delhi, a sugar mill, land parcels in Maharashtra, and a prime property in the iconic Nariman Point area of Mumbai.
The properties allegedly linked to Ajit Pawar are Jarandeshwar Sugar Factory, flat in South Delhi, office at Mumbai's iconic Nariman Point, a resort in Goa, 27 land parcels in Maharashtra. Anil Deshmukh faces charges of amassing extortion money when he was State Home Minister, charges he has denied. In its application though, the ED said that Anil Deshmukh collected 4.70 crore bribes between December 2020 and February 2021. The key evidence is testimonies of tainted police officer Sachin Vaze, who claimed Deshmukh made him collect the bribes. Officials confirmed Sachin Vaze told them about the collection. He also received calls from Deshmukh's personal secretary. Deshmukh rotated the money via shell companies. But Deshmukh's lawyers questioned his arrest.
ED seek the custody for confrontation of certain documents, certain accounts and certain witnesses. In response to that, we told to the court that these all statement was recorded prior to 29 when the matter was pending before the High Court. Today they are not bringing anything fresh before the Honorable Court. Therefore custody is not required.
After several hours of arguments, the court gave ED time till Saturday to question him. Amid the crackdown, Sharad Pawar tweeted this image of unity of him with Ajit Pawar and Chief Minister Uddhav Thackeray at an event in Baramati, Pawar's bastion near Pune.
Anil Deshmukh has claimed that the allegations made by Parambir Singh, which triggered off this investigation, was made because he was removed from office for unforgivable lapses in the Ambani residence bomb scare probe. Meanwhile, both the Sena and the NCP, whose leaders have been facing action from central agencies like the Income Tax Department and the Enforcement Directorate, say that these central agencies are being misused by the BJP to target opposition parties in opposition-ruled states. In Mumbai, with camera person Rajendra Dhalkar and Arvind Gunasekhar in New Delhi, Saurabh Gupta, NDTV.
Petrol prices have surged once again to record levels for the 7th straight day in the national capital. Petrol rates soared 35 paise to 110 rupees and 4 paise a litre. Diesel stayed unchanged at 98 rupees 42 paise per litre. And similarly in other cities as well, petrol prices up by at least 35 paise per litre in each city. In Mumbai, you now have to pay 115 rupees 85 paise a litre. In Chennai, 106 rupees 66 paise. In Kolkata, pay 110 rupees 50 paise for a litre of petrol. Now there are 15 hikes in petrol since and including the Shera. Petrol prices have gone up by 5 rupees 25 paise per litre in Delhi. There have been 14 hikes in diesel prices, unusually no hike today. But in all, we are now paying 4 rupees 90 paise per litre more for diesel. So this is an increase in over 5% for both the fuels. India has 12 new Khel Ratnas. The Ministry of Youth Affairs and Sports announcing the names of the sportspersons who have been awarded the Major Dhyan Chand Khel Ratna Award for the year 2021. Several of India's medalists at the Tokyo Olympics find their names in that list. Vimal Mohan joining us with the latest. Vimal, tell us more.
Ankita, there are 12, in this Jammu list, earlier as many newspapers and many people reported that there were 11 recipients of 11 would be given Khel Ratna Award, which was earlier used to known by Rajiv Gandhi Khel Ratna Award, but this time around it will be known as Major Dhyan Chand Khel Ratna Award. So there are 12 persons, and one inclusion is of the name is Manpreet Singh, the hockey captain. Earlier only PR Srijesh was there, so there are 12 persons. Neeraj, including Neeraj Chopra, the only gold medal winner from athletics in India in Tokyo Olympics, and Neeraj, Ravi Daya, Lavlina Borgohain, Avni Lakhera, Sumit Antil, Pramod Bhagat, Krishna Nagar, Manish Narwal, Mithali Raj, the cricketer, Sunil Chhetri and Manpreet Singh. So there are one from athletics, one from wrestling, one from boxing, 2 from hockey, and 5 para-Olympians, 1 from cricket and football. So there are many firsts in these kind of lists. 35 persons are to get Arjuna Award as well. 10 Dronacharya Awards would be given to different persons. But there are anomalies as well, Ankita. Like Aditi Ashok could not figure in this list of Khel Ratna Award awardee list. You would remember that Deepa Karmakar in 2016, she also got 4th place and she was awarded Khel Ratna Award. So Aditi Ashok's name is missing if we want to look at from that particular perspective. Right. And also there are perspectives like the Paralympians are not treated equally with the able. Yeah. So there are anomalies, but this is a jumbo list, and this was extraordinary year for Olympics and Paralympics for India. So these people would be awarded on 13th of November by the city.
All right, Vimal, thanks very much indeed for that comprehensive update. The Uttar Pradesh government is planning to light 9 lakh earthen diyas by the ghats of the Sarayu River in Ayodhya on Wednesday, a day before Diwali. The government says this will be a new world record. This is the 5th year of festivities in Ayodhya, the last before the crucial state elections. A grand Ram temple is being built in Ayodhya on the directions of the Supreme Court of India. It is likely to be completed just before the 2024 national election.
Dress rehearsals in Ayodhya for major festivities on Wednesday, Choti Diwali. When Chief Minister Adityanath will lead an effort to light a record 9 lakh diyas or earthen lamps by the ghats of the Saryu River just months before the crucial state election in the town home to the under construction Ram Temple. A lot of the BJP's campaign for the UP polls is expected to center around the Ram Temple, whose foundation stone was laid by Prime Minister Modi and the UP Chief Minister a year ago. After the BJP came to power in UP in 2017, festivities a day before Diwali in Ayodhya have been an yearly affair.
9 लाख दीपक राम की पैड़ी घाट पे जलाए जाएंगे, तो इससे हम लोगों ने प्रयास किया है कि अंधकार को हम लोग प्रकाश की ओर ले जाएंगे और एक बेहतर भविष्य के लिए अयोध्या के लिए भी और बाकी प्रदेश के अन्य जनपदों के लिए पूरे विश्व के लिए एक बेहतर भविष्य के निर्माण के लिए हम लोग प्रयास करेंगे.
There is heavy security in Ayodhya ahead of Wednesday's events as Ayodhya gets ready for another round of big Diwali festivities. With Pramod Srivastava in Ayodhya, this is Alok Pandey, NDTV.